Hi, I'm Macy, one of your registered dietitians. Happy fall. It is one of my favorite times of the year, so I want to welcome you to another Kids Cook at Home class. We're going to be having a spooky pizza party today. I'm super excited. I hope you're hungry. Let's go ahead and start out the class by washing our hands, so go ahead and do that now. Our first recipe for today is our spooky pizza. So we are going to make our sauce for our pizza. So I have all the ingredients here. If you don't have them, go ahead and pause here, measure them out, and bring them back with a large size pot. And we are just gonna start with dumping in all of our ingredients. So I have our crushed tomatoes. And a fun fact is that California actually produces 90% of the canned tomatoes that you'll buy in stores. And canned tomatoes are super awesome because the tomatoes are picked right when the tomato is ripe, and then it is canned immediately after, so it retains all those great nutrients like vitamin C and A. And then we're gonna put in our tomato paste. And for these canned tomato products, I always like to choose the no salt added options, which is what I chose for today. And then we have our olive oil, dried basil, and garlic. So once you have all these ingredients in the pot, you can go ahead and just give it a nice stir. Make sure everything is nice and mixed up. And once you have that all nice and mixed up, we are going to put this on the stove. So what we'll do is we will bring this mixture to a boil. As soon as it's boiling, we're gonna turn it down to a simmer, and then we're gonna let it simmer for 30 minutes. So we can go ahead and do that now. Once your sauce is done simmering, you can grab that off the stove. And our next step is going to be to preheat our oven to 425 degrees. And after that, we are going to cut our onion. So you can go ahead and wash your onion, and while you're at it, wash your mushrooms as well. And then we will come back here and start cutting our onion. With the help of an adult, let's go ahead and start cutting our onion. So you can go ahead and grab it, and we are just going to cut it right down the middle. And you can set one half aside and go ahead and peel the skin off of this half. Then you can go ahead and set that aside to be thrown away. And then we are just going to cut off the top of one side. Set that aside, and then we are going to start on one end and just start making slices all the way across. But don't cut all the way through, just cut right to the edge. Right, and then we are going to turn it, and very carefully we're going to slice right through the middle. Like so. And then our last step is to dice it. So we're gonna just make little cuts. So there we go. And then you can go ahead and put these pieces into our bowl. And then we are just going to need one more piece for the stem of our pizza. So we can take our other half, do the same where we're gonna peel off the skin. And then we're going to cut off the top again. And then we are just going to cut off a big chunk and take one of those pieces. So one of these can be the stem of our pizza. So with that, we can go ahead and set our onion aside, go grab all of your ingredients, and we'll come back here and assemble our pizza. We are going to assemble a spooky pizza, so you can have fun with this step and really make any face that you want on your pumpkin pizza. Otherwise, you can sprinkle your toppings on, whatever you want. So we'll start with our sauce. So we can go ahead and scoop out some sauce onto our pizza crust. And I have a whole wheat pizza crust today that I'm using. And then our next step is to put our cheese on. So you can sprinkle that evenly on the pizza as well. And then our last step is for our toppings. So we can take that bigger piece of onion that we cut, we'll put that at the top for our stem. And then I'm going to start by making the eyes. So I have my chopped olives. Make our one eye. Then we can move on to the nose. I'm going to use onions for my nose. And then our mouth, which I'm going to use mushrooms for. Right, and once you have your pizza how you like it, then you can go ahead and pop that in the oven. It is going to take about 10 to 12 minutes or until the cheese is melted. While our pizza is in the oven, we can go ahead and move on to our second recipe, which is our caramel apple grapes. So I went ahead and got all of the ingredients. So we have our caramel flavored yogurt, our crushed up walnuts, and some toothpicks and grapes. And so if you have not crushed up your walnuts, then go ahead and do that. You can just put them in a plastic baggie and use a rolling pin to crush them and roll them out until they're nice and fine. So again, if you haven't done that step, you can pause here and do that. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and start. So you can grab a toothpick and have an adult help you with this step. By grabbing one grape, we are going to poke the toothpick right through the center of the grape. And then we are going to dip it into our yogurt about halfway down. And then we are going to roll it in our walnuts. Once it's nice and coated, then we can go ahead and set it on our plate and continue doing the same with the rest of our grapes. So again, we'll poke through the center, roll it or push it halfway down into the yogurt, and then roll it in our walnuts. So you can go ahead and finish the rest of your grapes. Once you have finished rolling the grapes in the yogurt and the walnuts, then you can go ahead and enjoy these while the pizza is baking. Another option is to throw them in the freezer and enjoy them as a frozen snack for later. All right, my pizza is done, so I'm gonna grab it out of the oven now. And there we have our super spooky pumpkin pizza. So we can go ahead and cut this up and enjoy it. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. I had so much fun preparing these spooky recipes, and I hope that you did too. A special thank you to California Grown for making this class possible, and a reminder to fill out the after class survey for this class. That will be sent to you in an email about 1 week after class launch. Otherwise, you can find it at the bottom of the setup guide. And if you fill that out, you will be entered in a drawing for a chance to win a $25 gift card to one of our stores. Thank you again. I hope you have a great rest of your October. Our next class will be in December, and I hope that you will join me then.